Yeah, so now it's official. Thank you all very much for being with us today, whether it's the end of your day, the end of your Saturday, or the beginning of your Saturday, or the middle of your Saturday. You've honored us, and you've honored these young scholars by taking a few minutes out of your Saturday, out of your weekend to be together. And for those of you that are in Lebanon that'll be presenting today, know how just I know a lot of words, but I don't know the right words to say just how crazy excited we are for you and how crazy proud we are of you because of the things that you have accomplished and the things that you're working toward in the future as well. At Youth Reach International, one of our favorite groups of people are people who are committed to overcome obstacles and to have a hope-filled future and to help other people have a hope-filled future too. That's one reason we love the CodeBrave team so much. And we consider you guys that are students to be part of that team also. So just know how thankful we are to have a few minutes today to not only hear about your projects, but to also get to know you better too. And I would ask our guests, our Youth Reach International friends and family, as you're listening today, we did this last year. It was very successful, but as we were kind of thinking about how we can do it better this year, we thought let's take the time to get to know the students a little better and not just hear only about their projects that they've been working on. So there may be questions about some of the projects that they'll share with us today, but let's delve a little bit deeper into who they are as people, what their goals and their ideas and their dreams are for the future, and how they are overcoming obstacles in life right now to reach some of those goals. I think if we do that well, we will not only be inspired and encouraged today, but we'll also inspire and encourage each other too. So I will be quiet now and let Eliana do what Eliana does.
Thank you. I just need someone to allow me to share my screen. I think that's Olga, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's you, Rob.
Sorry, I'm just drinking water here. There's a participant. Her name is Eliana, and she is now. Rob, have you forgotten how to run a? There it is. Just a moment.
No worries.
Just a moment. We will make her the host. You have full control now, Eliana.
All right, thank you. Okay, I'm just gonna share my screen to share this presentation with you all. Can you see my screen? Just a thumbs up? Okay. So hi, I'm gonna reiterate what Rob said and thank everyone here today for joining this call. The Youth Reach International community, Rob and Olga and Gracia from our team for arranging this, and our wonderful students for taking the time out of their day to be joining. Just gonna start by introducing myself. I'm Eliana. I'm the co-director and head of programs at CodeBrave. So CodeBrave started as a small project in 2018 with a group of 20 children at a shelter for homeless kids near Beirut in an area called Kahale. And it was actually one of the kids' ideas to do coding classes. And little did he know where his idea would grow. And from 20 kids at that shelter to over 2,000 students today across the country being equipped with tech skills that are essential for the 21st century. But before I tell you a bit more about CodeBrave, I just want to set our work in the context of Lebanon. So at the moment, 88% of tech companies in Lebanon say that they cannot find the right tech talent to hire. At the same time, the digital economy in the Middle East is expected to grow fourfold by 2030, and yet half of Lebanese youth are unemployed. So for us, investing in good tech education is really a no-brainer. It can help youth in Lebanon fill the gap both in Lebanon and in the region through remote digital work. And this is why CodeBrave exists. We equip young people with tech skills and cognitive skills to allow them to lift themselves out of poverty, to build for better futures, to increase their job prospects, and contribute to the economy. So what do? We have three main programs. I'm going to go over those really quickly because our focus today is on one of them. But overall, we teach students at schools. We teach them coding, robotics, AI. We also upskill teachers at schools. We have a program called the CodeBrave Powered Schools program, and that's where we train teachers so that they can deliver our programs independently. And then we have our CodeBrave scholarship, web development scholarship program, a program that has been funded by Youth Reach International, the program we're gathered here today to talk about. Across our three programs, as I've said, we've reached over 2,000 students, half of which have been girls, something we're really proud of given the stereotypes around women in STEM. Almost all of our students, can I say almost all, 97% of our students say they want to learn more coding and robotics. And in our scholarship program, 93% of students have achieved positive outcomes, which I'll tell you a bit more about. So this scholarship program, it's a one-year online program. Students learn web development across 8 months, and then they are linked with a client in the real world to build a website for. I think Olga is going to be one of our clients soon, potentially. So the students get this like work simulation experience or an internship experience building a website for a real client. We've had a bit over 50 students in this program, also around half of which have been girls. This this program is one of I think is one of the most impactful programs. Our graduate students from this program, who are all teenagers, have achieved amazing things. Some of them have gotten freelance work, some of them have gotten jobs, they've gotten scholarships to universities, some of them have started their own online businesses, they've been accepted into exchange programs. So all kinds of amazing positive outcomes. 93% of the graduates have achieved those outcomes. And today or tonight, depending on where you are, you're going to be hearing from 5 of them. And I'm really excited for you to hear directly from them because their stories are genuinely inspiring. Rob and Olga always tell me that I speak with so much passion and excitement about our students. And today, everyone's going to find out why. So without further ado, we're going to start with our first speaker, Jana. Jana is one of the most brilliant students, and I'm going to say across the country, and that's not just by my own evaluation, but it's actually by national exams that she's taken that has proven that as well. She's a student who grabs onto opportunities. Like that's the first thing I think about when I think of Jana. So I'm just going to stop talking and let her introduce herself and tell you a bit more about herself. I'm going to stop my screen sharing so you can all see Jana.
Good evening or good morning. I'm not going to start my speech with a typical introduction. Rather, I'm going to ask you this question. Can you name 3 influential women in tech from the Middle East? Chances are it's not an easy task. In our region, a woman's place is said to be at home, cooking, sewing, and taking care of the children. Many women leave their careers after becoming mother, while others are stuck in the same job positions without any promotions. That's why it's no wonder that girls are in the minority in the STEM field. My name is Jana Ayoub, and I stand here today with a clear purpose, to demonstrate that young girls are equally capable of excelling in the tech industry. But this journey isn't without its challenges. Let me take you through my story. Everyone knows that the last year of high school is crucial for university preparation. For me, I found myself left stranded, facing the challenges without the support I needed. Attending a public high school meant dealing with teacher strikes for months, and transferring to a private school wasn't possible given my family's financial circumstances. It has always been a dream to pursue my education at AUB, the American University of Beirut, but achieving this dream seemed impossible without securing a full scholarship. Not only that, I wanted to choose a major that combines my personal passions and the demands of the job market. One day, while scrolling through my Instagram, I stumbled upon a life-changing opportunity, the CodeBrave scholarship. The true highlight of my journey with CodeBrave was the quality of instruction led by the outstanding teachers there. My passion for literature and UI/UX design have been a driving force behind my most recent and impactful project, Read with Jana. This project serves as an online library, providing users with the ability to search for books and access them for online reading. Now, let me share a story with you. I was sitting with a friend in my dorm enjoying a movie. Meanwhile, my friends a year ahead were immersed in a web development course. As they proudly displayed their basic websites, I couldn't resist showing off mine. The room went quiet for a second and then, "Wow, how did you do that?" I told them about the CodeBrave scholarship and they said, "We wish we had heard about it earlier." And from that day on, they called me the Queen of Web Development. Despite all the challenges, I took the initiative and taught myself. To be honest, it was challenging because I had to stay motivated and because I had to stay motivated in order to handle the academic requirements on my own. However, my hard work paid off when I ranked third in Lebanon and first in Nabati in the Lebanese baccalaureate. Not only that, I got a full scholarship at the American University of Beirut through USAID. CodeBrave scholarship essentially ignited my passion for tech. After the first round of the program, I found clarity about my university major, which is computer engineering. In the grand tapestry of life, every individual's journey is a unique masterpiece defined by transformation, resilience, and the relentless pursuit of dreams. Yes, my passion for knowledge and the unwavering resolve I've shown in the face of adversity have truly shaped who I am. I extend an invitation to all of you to join me in this exceptional journey where women's potential in tech knows no bound. Together, we will eliminate a path toward a brighter and more equitable future. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Jana. I just want to add to say, I mean, Jana brushed on this, but I just really want to clarify this so everyone understands like how amazing what Jana achieved is. So those national exams I was talking about that everyone has to sit at the end of year 12, when Jana was in her year 12, the situation in Lebanon was really deteriorating. Schools were on strikes, teachers at public schools were on strikes. So Jana was out of school for more than 3 months. And yet she was able to study on her own and achieve that remarkable result. So see, that's why I smile when I talk about them. I'm gonna open the floor. Olga, Rob, whoever wants to answer. I'm not sure if you want us to do questions now to the students or wait till the end.
I think it would be better to do it now just because some thoughts are kind of fresh on our minds.
Yeah.
Probably just limit it maybe to one or two questions, but and of course I have one, so I'd like to start if I could. First of all, Jana, congratulations. That is fantastic. I appreciate you letting us know about some of the stereotypes unique to the Middle East and letting us know that that is one of the obstacles that you've had to overcome and probably will have to continue to overcome. These things take time to change. I'm curious, in your family, were you encouraged to pursue some non-traditional roles for a woman in your family, or inside your family, is that something that wasn't really supported or cheered for very much?
Yes, of course, my family supported me in all the way from going to high school and then to university, and because they really know the importance of education in our life today. So no, it was really totally supported, and going into engineering, of course, into tech is more, you know. So yes, but in my community, it is a bit sorry. It's not really known to go to Beirut to the city and go into university. So it was a bit challenging when it comes to leaving my family and go to Beirut. So yes.
Okay. But now your family is supportive and they're cheering for you,
Yes,
and
of
that's
course.
wonderful. That's good. That's a great compliment to your family. It really is. Congratulations.
Thank you.
I'll be quiet now. Any other questions for Jana?
Uh, what is the job market in computer engineering for a woman in Lebanon?
So we have both software engineering and hardware engineering. There are a lot of work for software engineering. I don't really know if there are jobs for hardware, but both hardware and software are I mean, they recruit women in these fields. So there's no stereotype or something about software or hardware engineering for girls. I know a lot of my friends going into big companies, and that's totally fine.
Eliana, as far as you know, and Jana, as far as you know, are female people in this market, in this industry, paid the same as males, or is there a discrepancy in compensation?
Gracia's shaking her head.
Okay, it sounds like she knows the answer to that, yes?
Yeah, there may be some discrepancies, but I want to say like Lebanon is a very diverse place. So, and I really relate to Jana because I also come from a very small village where people are very, I'd say traditional, and where I also like people in town would ask my dad, like, how are you letting her go to Beirut? How are you letting her go to university? But then you go to Beirut where people are more diverse and more open, and you see women working in tech. So this experience of like women being, more encouraged into traditional roles is more common where I live or where Jana lived before moving to Beirut. But I think at the moment, tech companies are really struggling to hire people. So I think Jana is, and with how brilliant she is, she will definitely have good chances to securing a job in the tech industry.
Good, good.
If I could, I just want to have a comment. We're what, like 20 minutes in, two people have spoken, and I'm already writing furiously, making notes about how I can apply this to our organization and where we might grow another ministry. So I'm really anxious to hear more.
Well, luckily we've got plenty more. We can still take questions at the end. So for the sake of time, I'll proceed now. But also, if anyone wants to pop a question in the chat, feel free to do so. So our next speaker is Omran. Some of you might have seen him on video. We've shared that with Olga. I have never spoken to Omran and not cracked up laughing. Like that's what I think of when I think of Omran. He's very funny, very fun to talk to, but also described by his teachers as one of the, like literally his teacher told me he's one of the most enthusiastic learners I've ever met. So again, without further ado, I'll let Omran take the floor. So go ahead, Omran.
Yeah. Hello. So I would like to start with a little story, small story. So when it comes to coding, everyone thinks it's all about developing software. But what if you can use it in a romantic way? One of the things CodeBrave had me to do was to get a girlfriend. This happened after one of the CodeBrave teachers, Hani, taught me about HTML. I made a website for her with the stories about our time together. I uploaded it to USB and sent it to her. And it was like a bit spicy. Like romance. So again, hi, my name is Amran. I'm 18 years old. I'm an orphan who lives at Dar al Orphanage, and I'm a Syrian refugee. Before Lebanon, my memories of Syria were in a big house in the bustling city of Homs until cancer took mom and war took home. I came to Lebanon. I found myself working in a supermarket at 9 years old, and I thought I had no future left. I came to Dar al-Awlad and I started school here. When I was 15 years old, I heard that there were coding classes starting at Dar al-Awlad. I was really excited because I love video games. Really, I love video games. And I heard that coding was behind them. So once we started at the beginning, it was so easy and fun. Like they say in French, la vie en rose. It was like jigsaw puzzle. You just like you just like join two pieces of code together. But later on, we started Python, and here it was challenging. I couldn't learn a single line of code without getting syntax error. And at this point, you feel that you don't fit in and you have to quit. But my godmother, who's like the director of the school, told me that if you begin with something, you have to finish what you started. Because me personally, I thought it's only for those with high IQ levels. So growing up, we were taught that the world, it is what it is. Try not to bash into the walls and ruin yourself, and there's no room for failure. But my perspective has changed with my newfound skills, and I realized that life is much broader once you discover the fact that the world around you was built by people who were no smarter than you. Later on, I programmed my first calculator using Python, and I felt I can do and reach more than that. In general, learning coding and tech skills may open up many opportunities that they wouldn't have otherwise. I realized in coding, we always want to focus on the final result, but we never pay attention to those small mistakes that prevent us from reaching it. Learning to code taught me that you have to learn to fix the small problems to get to the result you want, just like in life. What I've learned is the journey might be long and the process might be challenging or hard, but it is possible for you to learn coding. And I'm one of many, many, many other examples. So, from a 9 years old kid who used to work at the supermarket to a guy standing in front of you here with a dream, I'd just like to share with you something I have taken as a lesson through my journey. It's not about the final result, it's about the small steps you took that brought you to it. Thank you, everyone, for your time.
Thank you, Amran. Amran always makes me say a disclaimer. We do not teach children how to get boyfriends and girlfriends. We teach them coding.
Yeah.
That's him.
It looks like you
Amran
taught
is
him how to
in
get a
trouble.
girlfriend.
But thank you, Amran. And now you guys probably, I can see everyone smiles. So everyone understands why I said I never speak to him and not crack up laughing. And I'll leave it to questions to Amran if anyone has any.
Not a question for me, Amram, but just the statement that you're so right that it's not about the end product, it's about the process, those little steps that you take getting there. And I am not a programmer. I've joked with Eliana, she's forgotten more about programming than I'll ever know. And Omran, you've probably forgotten more about programming in the last 5 minutes than I will ever know. But I'm encouraged to hear you say that I've learned something inside the discipline of coding that is applicable in the rest of my life. That gets me excited. That's why I'm a believer in athletics. I really appreciate the process of being on teams and working on teams and having my children do that when they're young, because that's one of those life skills that's going to serve them well when they get older too. So I'm very happy you got a girlfriend. I'm very happy you made a spicy web or a romantic website. I'm glad that was successful for you, but I'm really thankful even more so that you've learned skills inside coding that are going to help you in the rest of your life. Congratulations.
Thank you, Rob. I think Amran might have dropped from probably his internet. He was telling me before the call his internet was a bit acting up today, but I'm sure he'll
Or maybe
join.
his girlfriend called him and said, okay, that's enough talking.
He's back. So one thing I want to also clarify is, so the school that Amran went to is one of the schools we actually have our programs in where we go in and teach all of the students there. So he started with that program and then he applied to the CodeBrave scholarship program, which I think is a great example of like the pipeline where, kids start younger doing classes in school, but then if they find that, they have a passion for this, they want to pursue this further, then they can apply to our scholarship program. Amran, you were, Rob was telling you about how
Yeah,
he
sorry. In Lebanon, it happens a lot. Welcome to Lebanon. They say.
Oh, I think his internet's still acting up. All right, if we don't have any other questions, we can move on to our next speaker, Vivian. She's been quiet this whole time. She comes off as shy, but once you get to know her, once she feels comfortable, like a butterfly spreading her wings. Also, when I talk to their teachers, Vivian's teachers speak about her so highly, describe her as very motivated, as someone who's a real quick learner. So I'm also excited for you to hear from her. So go ahead, Vivian.
Hello. Hello, everyone. I'm very happy to be here today. My name is Vivian, and I'm from a beautiful town of Alay. I'm 16, and I grew up in a small town with limited resources. Since I could remember, life has presented me with its fair share of hurdles, whatever it was, academical challenge or personal setbacks. My dad works as a foreman on construction sites. In 2019, a couple of months before the revolution and the start of the economic crisis, he was badly hurt at work and couldn't walk properly for 3 whole years. After that, he lost his job and my family lost its own source of income. We were already struggling as a family of 5, but things got even harder after that. I was only 11, but I felt like my whole world crashed. Even if my parents tried to shield me from reality, Eventually, I had to move on to a public school, and that wasn't easy. My new school is further away from my house, so every day I have to catch a ride with my neighbor who works there. Uh, I walk for 30 minutes to get back home. Rain or shine, academically I was ahead of my new classmate, so school became boring for me. It felt like an educational downgrade. But I refused to let these obstacles define me. I chose to embrace them as opportunities to grow and learn. I chose to stay positive. So I started enjoying a little things at school, like how I know stress less over homework, or like how I was able to build a new friendship with others who were going through the same things as I was. I started going to school 4 days instead of 5. So I chose to turn my downtime to learn time at home. I was always love I always have loved discovering new subjects and learning. In 2020, my sister and her friend, who both study ICT, sent me a free platform to learn web development, and I started playing around with that. And last year, I started off school. At the start of the school, I submitted upon CodeBrave. Our principal shared a link about some coding programs with us, and without much thought, I filled up my name. The first quiz was hard, but I completed it, unsure of what lay ahead. Then I forgot about the whole thing. It was until a friend at school mentioned receiving an email that she received. Then I was badly wanted to get in. Then I got my email. I was surprised to have been selected, and as soon as classes began, I knew that CodeBrave wasn't just another youth program. It was a chance. It was a chance to make a real difference in my life. I've been studying for 7 months now, and I've learned many programming languages like Python, HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. But what's been amazing is that coding lessons have got me excited about learning again. At the end of every session, I'm excited for the next one. I think that coding is super fun and always and allows me to create whatever I want. For this cool website I built about the seashell, I'm really proud of this project because it was an opportunity for me not only to learn how to design a website, but also to learn about another country and explore its art and culture. Each new challenge remind us of endless possibilities that lie ahead. I've made it through some already, but I've learned that there's always a rainbow after the storm. It is really nice to share my journey with all of you, and that it is far from over. I'm really excited for the rest of CodeBrave program and the upcoming school year, which will be my last. Thank you.
Thank you, Vivian. Vivian, I want to say you said you were surprised you got selected. I don't think you should be surprised at all. You did brilliantly in your aptitude test and in your interview, which is why you got selected. And I also just want to clarify a couple of things for the people who aren't very familiar with the context of Lebanon. So the crisis Vivian was speaking about is the crisis that hit Lebanon in 2019. People's money got stuck in the banks. Our currency lost its value. There was crazy hyperinflation, which led to basically 80% of the population living below poverty lines. So it was a stressful time for everyone in Lebanon. And also to give you an idea of public schools, before the crisis, around 70% of students in Lebanon went to private schools because the public schools system was struggling and was not providing the best education possible. But then with the crisis, because a lot of people could no longer afford private schools, students started going back again into a public school that was already struggling, was now even struggling more. And when Vivian said she only had 4 days out of school, it's not because of like some new pedagogy we've stumbled upon in Lebanon, but it's because schools couldn't afford to pay teachers. So they just cut down the length of the school day and went to teach 4 days instead of 5 days. Also, people couldn't afford gas to get to school. So it was kind of like cutting cost solution. So yeah, just a bit of background, but I'll also let you ask any questions you might have to Vivian.
Is that still the case, Eliana? Is it still 4 days a week?
I don't know, is it still for your school, Vivian? Because some schools, yes, but some schools have went back to 5 days. But yeah, for some schools, it still is the case. It really depends on where the school is located, the size of the school. Like there are so many factors at play. But for a while, it was almost all schools in Lebanon like that.
Oh. Eliana, could you share just a little bit, maybe about Vivian's case specifically, but like you said, she said she was surprised that she was selected. You said you were not surprised that she was selected. What makes the right kind of candidate for a CodeBrave student, a CodeBrave scholar to be selected? What are you and the team looking for?
Well, we're looking for students who are exceptionally bright and exceptionally motivated. And I think from the 3 students you've already spoken to, I mean, to me, those qualities are really clear. So we usually recruit mainly through public schools, but also like, you know, people like Jana come across our programs through platforms like, you know, Instagram or any other social media. But applicants usually take an aptitude test. And then after that, we have interviews with them, which lead us to the final selection. So we're talking like maybe I think 15% of applicants are admitted to the program.
What role does personal, interpersonal communication skills have?
So
in
we
your
look
selection?
for students who have like first of all, I would say at least a basic proficiency in English language, because we view that as essential for success in the job market. And then also we're looking for just communication skills, generally motivation, like do they really want to learn coding? Are they interested in that field? So yeah, like these are the kind of things we look at.
If I may ask a question of Vivian, who has been your biggest inspiration or mentor in the CodeBrave program? And why?
Like CodeBrave
Yes.
or like all the teachers were great. They all inspire me in different cases.
But Eliana is your favorite. Is that right, Vivian?
Well, we can't put them on the spot like
I'm
that.
sorry. We should.
Our own
I
favorite.
retract the question. I take the question back. I'm sorry.
No, but I mean, Vivian probably interacts a lot more with her teachers than she does with me. And I know we have wonderful teachers. I don't know, Rob, if you've met any of them when you were here. You probably did when you visited. Yeah. All amazing teachers.
Absolutely. Vivian,
Uh,
did you work with the same teacher throughout the entire process, or did you have different teachers that you would work with?
No, I had 3 different teachers.
Okay. Male, female?
A female.
Okay, wonderful. I love the way, I am obviously a male, but I love the way CodeBrave gives a seat at the table to competent, passionate women. I really do. That's very important.
We've been discussing the fact that we actually should hire more men.
You do need some men. You really do. Yes.
It's not intentional, but yeah, we happen to have really awesome women on the team. Okay, so again, I'll say if anyone has any questions, feel free to pop them into the chat. For the sake of time, I'll proceed with our next student, Lean. If I think of Lean, I think super competitive. Don't try to get into any competition with Lean. She's always gonna want to win, but also very hardworking, also very patriotic. When I think of Lean, I think, oh, someone who loves Lebanon. So yeah, I'll let you hear more from her. Rob, you've met Lean, so you'll now hear, you know, what she's done since then, which is a lot.
You have to lose yourself to find yourself. How many of you have heard this saying before and rolled your eyes? I know, I'm still young, but I can vouch that it's completely true. Hello, I'm Lina Al-Zughbi. I'm 16 years old, originally from Sheba, near the southern border, but I live in Beirut. I've always felt like I'm navigating a maze, not knowing when I'll reach a dead end, and if I'll make it out. Like for many, 2020 was a hard year for me. The pandemic destroyed my teen hopes of integrating my new school and forced the little social butterfly that I am to be locked up. I lost half of my friends, I had to meet new classmates and teachers, and online learning came with the catastrophes of failing country. No electricity, no internet, and teacher strikes due to economic crisis. I was no longer the same person. I stopped handing in my assignments. I stopped believing in myself, and I stopped doing what I love the most, my inventions. I locked myself up and started wondering if there is really a way out. Then the August for blast happened. My heart skipped a beat because my father worked close by. Thankfully, he left his office early that day and was safe away from destruction. My father was lucky, but many weren't. Beirut, my beautiful capital, was destroyed again. In a couple of months, though, Beirut started being rebuilt, and I thought, if this city is able to rebuild itself for the eighth time by now, why can't I rebuild myself and find my own way? Then, we started in-person school in 2021. But despite trying my best, things were not much better. I remember sitting in Mrs. Nahat's class and waiting for the bell to ring. Computer class was not for me. I had struggled with online learning and found tech just scary. However, one assignment changed everything. I was building a lie detector to reduce the widespread of head lice in schools. Suddenly, even though my school had limited STEM resources, class was not boring anymore. Then, Mrs. Nahat told us about CodeBrave. She insisted that I apply, so I did, without much expectation. I mean, I was a girl in Lebanon after all, destined to be a pharmacist, a nurse, or a teacher. Being a computer science was for men. I forgot about CodeBrave scholarship until I received an email from Eliana. I did an interview and some tests, and I got in. At first, I was very scared, and then I became super excited. I remember when I wrote my first lines of code, the whole world seemed to change. Mrs. Merwa, my CodeBrave teacher, became my role model and made me love the tech world. What once felt like a no-entry road is now a possible path towards something greater to me. I learned Python, HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and C++. I learned life lessons and made new friends. And then coding sessions became a beacon of enlightenment. Since joining CodeBrave, I won the first place in a competition of web development over several schools for 2 years straight. My lie detector project won second place in national competition over Lebanon and first place over my school STEM fair. I did a lot of inventions, and recently I designed a solution for bedbugs and currently building a new bigger invention which I call the Guardian Watch. And I did an internship with CodeBrave where I designed a website for an NGO in South Africa called Mind Matter. And that opened the door for a lot of internships. I interned with a company in Estonia called Mind Matter. And then I started volunteering with a committee at American University of Beirut, all girls school, which supports girls in engineering and STEM. I am the youngest volunteer, yet I was assigned to give an HTML session for 35 girls older than me, and was the technical team leader at that event. And I'm happy to announce that I was one of the 3 chosen students, 3 chosen girls, to travel this summer to the US in the Tech Girls Exchange program. And finally, this might be a surprise for everyone here. Yesterday, I received an email telling me that I got accepted to MSSF scholarship, which supports young teenagers in Lebanon to study undergrad in the US. Now I have found myself. I want to prove the society that engineering and computer science know no gender boundaries. I want to encourage young girls like me to go headfirst in such fields because this is where the future is. You might not find your Mrs. Nohad and Mrs. Marwa. However, female leaders are here, pushing past societal limitations. Just look at her, Beirut, fighting and rising from ashes again. You must be your own guiding force, persevere through obstacles, push past societal limitations, and keep striving towards your goals. Thank you for listening.
Lean, congratulations. I didn't know
Thank
you got
you.
that scholarship.
Thank you.
Surprise,
Gracia
Eliana,
tweeted me.
surprise.
Gracia just sent me a message saying there's a surprise in her speech, and I'm like, what surprise? So congratulations. I'm really
Thank
happy
you.
for you. And I want to say that like I know you want to inspire younger girls. I'm an older girl and I am inspired by you. And I'm sure I speak for many people who meet you who feel the same.
Thank you.
Thank you, Lean. Wow, exciting.
Very exciting. I feel
Yeah.
like I have an advantage because I've, Lena, I met you last summer when I was there, and I remember something you said. I wrote it. I just found the notes when I posted that picture there. You talked about how some people in your generation are looking for ways to leave Lebanon. It's too hard. There's no future here and everything else. And I just remember you just had this powerful hope and optimism saying things do need to change here, but it's not going to change with our parents' generation. Probably it's going to change with our generation, and we need the best of the best people to stay here, not the best of the best people to leave. And I'm not even Lebanese. And at the end of our conversation, I said, I want to stay here. I don't want to leave. I want to stay here too. But I love the fact that you have this passion at age 16 that you do, and that you're targeting it, you're focusing it in the betterment of your beloved Lebanon in the future, not just for the betterment of you to leave and to go somewhere else. So I have great hope in the future of Lebanon because I have great hope in you and your generation. So congratulations.
Thank you.
Another scholarship. Wow.
Yeah. Also, I mean, Olga knows this. We've talked about this, but our other student, Rawan. So Rawan got into US Tech Girls, which is an exchange program where only 3 girls from Lebanon are selected each year to participate in. So Rawan got in last year. Then this year, when we sent the opportunity among our students, Lean wanted to apply, and then Rawan reached out to us and she said, oh, can I support the students applying this year? Because I've been through it. And it was really amazing for me to just watch this community, be born, and the girls just supporting one another. And we're really happy that this year Lean's going. So
that's one
Thank
of the
you.
great things about what you're doing, Eliana, and what the CodeBrave team is doing. A person who has as much gray hair as I do can say this, that if you stay at it long enough, and Joel doesn't have gray hair, Joel doesn't have any hair, but Joel, like me, has been doing this for a long time. And Joel now sees that some of the people, the young leaders that he was investing in 15, 20, 25 years ago, now they are leaders that are investing in the next generation and even the next generation after that. If we give up when it gets hard after only 5 or 6 or 7 years, we never get into that second generation of leadership. But you're in that now. You see your current generation wanting to impact the next generation, and that makes me just want to clap all the louder for what's happening there. So that's fantastic. That really is.
I'm still very excited for Lean. You guys should have told me before, because I get way too excited about these things. All right, so on to our last speaker, Ala. Ala is one of the most determined, persistent people I've ever met. If he wants something, he's going to go there and he's going to get it. Like, no questions asked. So again, without further ado, I'll let you speak, Ala.
Hello, everyone. I don't know, good afternoon or good morning. My name is Ala Shayib. I'm 19 years old from small town in Mount Lebanon, Alai. Today, I want to share with you a glimpse of my personal journey, a journey marked with struggle, passion, hard work, and success. I grew up in a low-income family. My father is a builder and my mother is a housewife. Even before the crisis hit Lebanon, every day felt like a battle against the odds. We've always had medical issues in our family, and I often felt like the world is closing in around us. So you can only imagine how bad it is, the more recent crisis in Lebanon. We had to make tough choices to keep paying for my sister's medical care. You see, even the most expensive health insurance back then weren't covering patient expenses, and obviously we could not afford them. I had to change my school in my last year. We couldn't afford to pay my old school, already small tuitions, but just because I understood why didn't make it easier. I lost my friends and I felt alone. Adjusting to my new school was tough. I ended up failing my class. But even at my lowest, I still think it. It's something that I've done since I could remember and something my father always encouraged me to do. Whenever something in the family is broke, device, anything, I heard my name being shouted to fix it. In 2022, I learned about CodeBrave from a friend who was in the program and I was immediately interested. But getting accepted was another story. The selection process seemed very tough, but I was determined to get in. 2023 became my year. I repeated my last year at school. I applied twice, if you want to know, to CodeBrave, and I got last November. My coding lessons became place where I could escape reality, immerse myself in a world of endless possibilities. It wasn't easy, and there were moments when I felt like giving up. Despite facing challenges, I became even more determined to succeed, and with my amazing mentors and teachers to thank for not allowing me to give up. Throughout my last 6 months, I went from a passionate and curious student to established coder and web developer. When I look back to my earlier project, I can see how my skills have grown and with them my future opportunities. Becoming a member of CodeBrave family was like stepping stone toward building my future. I managed to secure a loan and 65 financial aid that allowed me to start studying computer science and specializing in AI at the Lebanese American University, LAU. I applied to LabNet Scholarship, which is a network of Lebanese diaspora helping young Lebanese transition from academic life into the job market. And I became a scholar there. The skills I learned, skills I learned from CodeBrave program helped me land my first job where I created business website for my local library. And now, alongside my studies, I started an internship with Oh I Get It, a US-based company working in fake news classification. My work is mostly AI related that works side by side with professionals to detect fake news from real ones. Though I still haven't secured a full scholarship at the university, I'm determined to work tirelessly to cover my fees soon as possible because others believe in my ignited fire within me that refuses to extinguish. And I believe I still haven't reached my full potentials. If I look back on my journey, I am very grateful and proud for how far I've come from tinkering with code on my laptop to building complex projects and entering the tech field. Each step of the way shows a power of resilience and determination. I'm sure you've heard the quote from Paulo Coelho, and when you want something, all the universe conspire in helping you to achieve it. My journey has taken a good turn, but that isn't the case for many young people like me who are yearning for opportunities to change their life. I now truly believe that tech education is the key. It truly can transform lives, uplift communities, and maybe get Lebanon back to its feet. So, on a final note, I invite you to be the catalyst for change and to champion and support tech education for youth so they can feel the hope I now feel about my future and the world that it desperately needs it. Thank you all.
Wow.
I'm muted. Thank you, Ala. Um, I mean, I remember when Ala applied, I think all of our inboxes were filled with just emails from Ala arguing why he should be accepted into the CodeBrave program, which is why I tell you, when Ala wants something, he's gonna go there and he's gonna get it. I'll leave the floor for questions for Ala.
Fantastic, Ala. Thank you so much. And this question could probably go to all of you scholars, but I want to ask you, Ala, because you spoke about it 2 or 3 times. all of you have mentioned these scholarships, not just the CodeBrave scholarships, but these other scholarships that you're learning about. I did not know that there was a scholarship from the diaspora community. That's fantastic. How do you learn about these scholarships? Where do you go to find where the source of these opportunities are? And I imagine you don't receive every scholarship that you apply for. You probably would like to, but what is your percentage of success? Do you apply for 20 and receive one? Or maybe you do receive a scholarship every time you ask. I don't know. But first of all, how do you learn about these scholarships? And then how successful are you in applying for them?
It was like the story behind it. It's amazing. Like Fatima, my instructor, sent me a message. Hala, hurry up! It's a scholarship, Labnat. It's very good. Okay, so the deadline was 11 p.m. We worked all night. I remember I submitted my form like 10:50 or 10:55, like minutes before the form was down. So I thought Fatima, will it work? So I just didn't have any clue what I'm going through. And suddenly one day I got an acceptance letter like this. Hello, Ala. I'll inform you. Congratulations, you were accepted to the scholarship, and it was amazing experience. And a special thanks for Fatima. Inshallah, she'll see the meeting. She helped me a lot.
So you're finding out about these scholarship opportunities from some of your teachers and mentors, like Fatima.
Yeah, they send the CodeBrave send us every like week or something new scholarships and new opportunities every day.
Okay. Are you consistently trying to get new scholarships, or do you have everything you need right now?
For now, I have everything I need. My
Good.
schedule is very full, but just seeing another opportunity that I can't apply to is just sad.
That means you can fill somebody else's inbox up with emails after emails after emails.
Yes.
So I just want to add to that. We can send this video to Fatima actually, so she sees this. So Fatima's one of our team members who's solely dedicated to finding opportunities for our students. So she looks for internships, job offers, scholarships. This isn't to say that every scholarship they get has been sent through Fatima, but even if they've found something on their own and want our support, we arrange for Fatima or someone else from the team to support them on their applications. But yeah, like for example, this LabNet scholarship, 5 of our students applied, 4 of them got it. So it was really good.
And it sounds like the tech girls, was Rowan the first CodeBrave student to get that?
Yeah.
But now you had at least one more this year?
We actually had 2 last year.
Okay.
Lean and another student.
Okay. So now maybe tech girls are going to be coming to look at CodeBrave and take some of their best.
I guess may have like a special category, CodeBrave students.
Yeah, good. That's a win. That's a positive for you and for them because they want the best students and you have the best students. So
Yeah.
good.
Any other questions to the students or to me, to Gassia?
I have a question.
Mhm.
Good afternoon and good evening for you there in Lebanon. My name is Ronaldo Castro. I work with LifeShape, a partner of Youth Reach International. And my first word for you is a word of encouragement. Congratulations to you all. I can relate to all your stories. I'm from Brazil, and my initial journey was through a coding course that allowed me to enter in the job market in Brazil back then. So my question is, how is the job market in Lebanon for you? It's growing. Your main opportunities are in Lebanon or outside Lebanon. Please tell me a little bit about the job market, job opportunities for the students. Thank you.
Sure. Thank you for your question. I can answer that. So this is something I mentioned earlier, though I noticed you might have not been there right at the beginning, but a recent survey was done in Lebanon, and 88% of tech companies in Lebanon are looking for talent to hire. So there's a huge opportunity for young people in Lebanon to enter into the tech market. Also in the MENA region, we're expecting growth in that field as well. And as CodeBrave, like we're part of an ecosystem. So we also work, for example, with other organizations that do like tech boot camps for the older age group. And we know that they are also building networks for hiring remotely from Lebanon. So like the aim of this tech ecosystem in Lebanon is to have like a brand Lebanon where people know there is talent in Lebanon, there's tech talent, and you should hire it. And working around all the legal things around hiring people remotely. So people are facilitating that. We are working, like we work with them. Some of our students would want to apply to those boot camps as well, so we also support them in their applications. We also had conversations with them on how to align our curricula, so our program prepares students for something further. So it's like there is an ecosystem in Lebanon working to make that happen, not just locally, but also regionally through remote work.
A lot of the people that we are connected to in Ukraine that work in the IT sector believe that the ideal for them is to live in Ukraine, work for a Western company, but to be able to stay in their home country, the economic, like to make a Western salary living in Ukraine would be fantastic. That's kind of what they said is their ideal. With Lebanon, are the companies that are looking for talent, are they companies from outside Lebanon, or are they truly Lebanese companies that are looking inside their own borders for talent?
So actually, so in Lebanon, we have a lot of companies looking for talent in Lebanon, but also there is this idea in Lebanon that we want people to stay in Lebanon, but be hired remotely by companies abroad. And like, if you think about it on large scale, like if there's enough effort put into tech education and Lebanon does become a tech hub, it can actually help the economy recover with all that foreign money coming into the country. So the goal isn't, the goal is to actually get people to stay in Lebanon, kind of like you mentioned about Ukraine, stay in Lebanon, get a remote job, get a Western income into Lebanon. It makes a difference for the family, but also on scale, it makes a difference to the whole country's economy.
Good.
If no one else has any more questions, I mean, I just like really want to end with a small message. You've heard the student stories. The situation in Lebanon continues to be tough. It's not easy. If anything, there are more hurdles now as well with political instability in the region. But CodeBrave is not going anywhere. We're staying. We will keep fighting for a brighter future for Lebanon with you, with our alumni. We already see them giving back to their communities. Our aim is to reach 20,000 students by 2026, 230 of which through this particular program, the web development program, and to upskill 20 schools in Lebanon so that they also can be delivering tech education. So if you guys want to learn more about our work, you can check our website, codebrave.org. You can follow us on social media. We're really excited for what's ahead, and we invite you to all follow our journey.
Thank
I
you.
don't have a, I don't have
You
a
do have a great
question.
website. You really do. Any of your students work on creating that website?
Well, we've started work on the website, I think, even before the scholarship program. Gracia had a lot to do with getting that website up and running.
It's a great website. It really is. And I was going to tell you, I know some great, developers. If you need a connection to some great developers, I know some really good developers there in Lebanon I could connect you with that would be happy to make a good website. Gracia, I've heard about you through Olga, but I'd like for you to kind of introduce yourself a little bit to me, but also to the rest of our Youth Reach International people too. How did you come to CodeBrave, and what is your role there on the team?
Yeah, hi everyone. Sorry, I was muted the whole time because my kids are in the background screaming.
It's okay. We like kids. We like kids. That's all right.
I joined CodeBrave actually when I moved back to Lebanon. I was in West Africa. And it was a very nice opportunity for me because I was involved in the tech ecosystem before in Lebanon, and I wanted to change to work, on something that really matters and that has real impact. I've done the multinational, work. I've told Olga this, like I've had that experience. Then I had the entrepreneurship experience working at the tech accelerator for startups, and it just didn't feel satisfying. I would say, like, I wanted something, that makes a difference, that makes me feel like I'm doing something for not just me, but for more people, to improve like Lebanon's situation in general, and like the world, because like it's something that I really believe in, is that tech education and tech is just like moving so fast, and if people like don't jump on the bandwagon, they're going to be left behind. So for me, like working with CodeBrave was just like perfect, spot on, like what I wanted, because like I saw like how I would say white privilege, like can benefit and like can monopolize, tech, and turn it into whatever they want. And like all these brilliant students and people who don't have access to these opportunities, who some of them don't even know what coding is, right? And could potentially make a real difference, not just for themselves, but for their communities, for their countries. And yeah, that's been my journey. It's been like 3 years now already. Like time flew by so fast. And I'm just like really.
Whoops. Probably one of her kids pressed something. Pressed the button. Gracia has 2 young children.
Well, it's okay. We love young children. That's all right.
She's
That's
been
okay.
juggling kids' birthday parties today before joining us. So
Did CodeBrave find her, or did she find CodeBrave?
actually, she'd have to answer that, because Gracia was with CodeBrave before I joined.
Oh, okay.
So I'm not sure how they found her or whether she found them, but I know she's been amazing. We always get compliments on our branding. Like we have like just really
Yes.
cool branding. It's fun, funky.
Yeah.
That's all Gracia.
Good. Very good.
Yeah.
Well,
She helped prepare our students to deliver speeches today. She worked with them on presentation, so they can feel confident and ready. And I came in today 30 minutes before this call, and I'm like, guys, does anyone want to practice their speech? And like, no.
Gracia
They've done
helped us.
that before. Like, who needs you?
Right. That's a nice problem. That's a nice situation to be in there. That really is. Lena,
Hi everyone.
It's okay. It's okay. We'd ask one more question about, like, did you find CodeBrave back at the very beginning, or did they find you? What is your origin story with CodeBrave? Birthday party again.
Gracia, that's the questions for you. I don't know if you can still hear us.
They found me. Me?
Yeah,
Hello?
yeah. Yes, we can hear you.
Yeah, so actually Clem and Stephen found me. They were looking for a communication officer to help out like randomly, and I met them to recommend someone else actually, and I ended up having the job.
That's very interesting. I met someone who introduced me to Steve, and those someones, Brady and Amber, left Lebanon, and they introduced me to Steve, and then Steve left Lebanon, but he introduced me to Clem, and Clem introduced me to the whole team here. And I love the fact that if you get to know one CodeBrave person, you're going to eventually get to know the rest of the CodeBrave people. You have a wonderful, wonderful community there. You really do. And we feel the same way about our Youth Reach International community too. There's just a wonderful group of people. I've seen it in a unique way the last couple of months as my family has been through a real challenging season. And one of the very first sources of life-giving encouragement and just presence, just being with us in a really hard time, has been from and I don't mean the Youth Reach International people in America. I'm telling you, when I hold my phone up and I look at WhatsApp, it's Hannah and it's Eliana and it's Clem and it's people that are connected to, to CodeBrave there. So I like to just let you guys know you're part of that. I feel like we're a part of your story and you're a part of our story. And as long as we keep doing that, we're going to continue to write some pretty special stories for kids that deserve this, and for countries that have a bright future in front of them. So again, I do this for all of you scholars. I do this for you, Eliana. I do this for you, Gracia, and just thank you very much for sharing with us today. I appreciate the time very much. Olga, anything from you?
Well, I am always so impressed by how courageous you all are. you know, beating the odds that you do every day, and for showing up and sharing your story with us. You know, basically a room full of strangers at first, but I hope that you find that we're really just friends that are cheering you on or are happy to do so. So thank you so much for everything that you've shared. And if you have any questions for us, we're also open to that. Thank you so much for your courage, for being brave, and for being here.
Wonderful.
Thank you, Olga.
Is it bedtime in Beirut yet?
Well, what time is it?
Past bedtime for my
Past
kids.
bedtime, okay. It's past those children's bedtime, isn't it? That's right. Well, again, thank everyone for being here today, whether it's Saturday afternoon, Saturday evening. For Eliana, she's in Belarus. It's probably Sunday morning already. Wherever you are, thank you very much for being a part of our community, our story, and thank you for letting us be a part of your community and your story as well. We think it's a pretty special thing. As you were saying earlier, Gracia, we think it's a very special thing when people choose to be a part of something bigger than themselves. I got to speak to a lot of your team at AUB last year when I was there. And that was one of the very first things I said, but introduced myself and said, I want to stand here and clap for all of you because you've chosen to be a part of something bigger than yourself. And about 35 people in the room did this. They didn't have to be told that that was a smart thing. That's in their heart. It's in their soul to do. And I feel that way about all of you that are on this gathering as well too. So thank you. Good night, good afternoon, and hope all of you have a wonderful weekend. And I'm excited to see what the next steps look like in our partnership.
Thank you.
Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.